because that is the public list of get saves. Which is the same. All items. Called save item now, but it's still serial item. It's still public. Just a list of them. Do you have a thing that's just a list of get item? Okay. So if it doesn't like that, let's just do an editor get items by itself. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do to probably fix that. Equals new get items. Okay. Alright, so that does that. Okay, get items like that, dot list. And then we should be able to go dot to array. Perfectly fine. You should not care. Okay, it does that, which is really dumb. Okay. Alright, whatever. There's probably something that I'm missing there, but it's okay. I can live with that, right? And yeah. We have that. And we're gonna have that. Okay, so compile in the background instead of all that mean stuff. So this should give us a serialized that will be Craftmaster. No, we don't want to overwrite our thing. So Craftmaster. Okay, so we will create a Craftmaster script. Okay, but we're not doing anything with that. And what is our item array thing by itself? So let's look at this. Okay, because this is a internal thing that's a class. Now it's a list of get item. So a list of get item would be 2 strings, okay, which ain't bad. But we're gonna have to do some fancier stuff with that because we don't want it to look relatively dull by itself. So in our onGUI function, we're definitely going to need some buttons, right? So we're going to need some buttons, which from the start of it, we are going to need a GUI Layout dot begin horizontal. And then when you begin at horizontal, you have to make sure you end it in horizontal. Okay. So you begin it and stuff. You made your group. So you can, yeah, that. So now we need a GUI layout dot begin scroll view. But we need a vector 2 for that. So we need a vector 2 for that. Well, it'll be okay for now. GUI layout dot in scroll view. Okay. And in our GUI layout, we need to make sure we have a vector 2. So in the beginning up here, we will put a private vector 2 scroll pause. Okay. And in our scroll view, we're going to have to, in the beginning, it's going to be scroll position equals, then we put a scroll position here. Bam. Now our scroll view is populated. So let's get some room here. Now, what do we need? Okay. In our classes, we're definitely going to need a for each. Yep, that's for sure. For each item. Now we have to give it a collection, which is going to be our master set items dot master list item. Okay, so every single one of those elements that it has, it's going to populate something in there. So instead of doing all that text writing, because it's a lot of writing and it gets annoying after a while, we are going to just copy one of these things. Okay, which it's not going to like and everything, but that's okay. So our text field and stuff, we need this. I'm going to exit this out. And this is for a string. So by itself, we're going to do a no, not that. We're going to do item dot item details equals this stuff, this stuff, okay, and that's pretty much it. We do need to point it back to itself, like so, and then end it. And that is all we have to do for this. Okay, so it's pretty okay. I don't know what the heck that was all about. So we're going to get rid of all this gauge stuff because we were just using it as a reference. And then now we're going to have to do something else, which is going to be very similar to this. But instead of the details, we are going to do a item ID file. And we're going to have this say dot item ID file. This is object file. Object file. And there we are. So every single time we have something in our list, it will show this. Well, there's only one problem. We need a button to populate this list and stuff. So down here, we're going to do a GUI Layout Button. Okay, and let me make sure it's got an if GUI Layout Button, and then it needs a string. Add file. Okay, so we're adding a file. So what are we going to be adding it to? Well, master items dot all items dot add. Okay, and we type in new, and it'll be a get item this time. Okay, and there we are. We are going to have to do stuff for a custom saving and things, but we are not going to be working with that just yet, because I want to build you up to that point. Okay, because at most we need you to understand the basic concept before we get to the other stuff, which is going to be a lot more harder. So we'll go back over Unity, and we will be able to see us populate this stuff. Okay, so Unity does its compiling stuff and everything, and there. So we have a craft manager, we have button on here, and it says add file. Okay, so we get another thing, get something, get something, get something, get something, get something, and we can just do this for whatever reason. As long as we want, it puts it to the bottom. Okay, so yeah, this is what it is, and we just get the item. Okay, so it does populate, but the problem is, A, we don't save it out to anything, and B, we are going to want some form of save, and this is kind of ugly, so we're going to have to pretty this up a little. Okay, and how we can do that is we're in this begin area, then we put this button here. Well, instead of putting it in here in the begin area, let's cut it out and see how this scroll ends and the horizontal ends. Put it down here. Okay, first of all. So, and I probably didn't swap that over. Okay, so all I did was take these areas right here. See, this is beginning and this is ending. Instead of having this inside of here, we are going to put the button outside of the end horizontal. Okay, the ending. And what that will give us is, when we go back over to Unity, we will be going and compile. It should give us our button outside of the scroll rec. So now you see we have this and it's going right here, but the button doesn't move anymore. So we can sit here and just keep adding, add to our little heart's desire. Which, you know, it's fine, I guess, if that's what you want. But what I am going to want is something a little bit more fancier as well. So we're adding, so we're going to need something to clear something out. So maybe we want a clear function. As you know, messing with the index is very problematic when it comes to an editor window. I tried messing with the index and it just did not want to act great. Remove it at a certain index. Nope, it just wouldn't let me. It just kept bugging out and it goes out of range. So clear is just the alternative that you have to it. Because if you try to remove something from the middle here, or you go past the end or the beginning, it'll just start being all bad. So now we can remove these stuff here. So we can add and we can remove. Okay, so that is something that happens. Okay, but let's say maybe you want we have this and everything. Well, we are probably going to have to work with this save the asset file thing. Okay, which, you know, is fine. But maybe we want to be able to control which one this saves onto. So in here we have our editor layout stuff. Well, up here before we even begin, let's do a GUI Layout dot space or no, I think it's editor GUI space, and this one doesn't require float or anything. You just space, doesn't care. Well, we are probably going to want some spaces in between the rec. Sounds reasonable, right? But we are going to want something else as well. So what are we going to want? Well, the way I look at it, we are probably going to want some type of string and then a level. What level are we building out to for all items? Okay. And if this works the way that I want it to, one, we should be able to load based on that as well. So let's go back up to here. And I forgot to put it back on the code stuff. But we did a editor space. Okay, so now we're going to want to do a level equals editor GUI layouts dot int field, which it's an integer, and we need a string, and then we need to pass its value again. Okay. All right. Sounds legit. And then there we are. So what are we going to put as our string? Wait, what? Let's overload that. Why is it bugging out? Int field. Int. It needs the value. Yes. GUI int value. String label value, and then the GUI label things. Yeah. We can do a string label and integer value, which would be level. Whoa, I'm confused. I did this last night. What? Huh? And you care why? That was a text field. Okay, text field. Huh. That's confusing. Well, that's confusing, isn't it? Okay, so let's go. No. Did I have them in all text fields? That's the reason why they're... I know I had an integer one. Okay, so in field, let's go see what Unity says about it. Unity's API, int field, layout, blah blah blah, int field, yes, multiplier, yes. Well, okay, it pretty much has the same thing. Okay, I am officially confused. Oh, wait, it's a string, my bad. Okay. Now I feel better. I was like, huh? What? Okay, so it was a mistype. We didn't want a string, we wanted an integer. Okay, so now this will give us an integer that is also editable in the inspector. Now, you're probably like, well, why do we want this? And the reason why is we can pass this level into our loading stuff. So you see this craft, okay? Now we can pass a integer in it, okay? Int level, okay? And if we go over here to craft, we'll do a plus plus, and we will put level. Okay. Actually, we probably should put load level integer. That way we know which one we have. Okay, we got pluses, and then we got load level as a parameter. Okay, so now it grabs and saves it based on a name that we want. Okay. Because our normal crafting ones, it does a um, our normal system does uh, saving stuff like as let's go into Unity here and swap do back over to Unity. And the way our levels work for loading up levels is we do crafting level, and then we can just go over here if we wanted to make another one and just go control D. Okay, and it increases the number at the end. Well, wouldn't this be really great if we had an integer up here and we added a file, and then when we go to save, we do master craft leveling something level 1, level 2, level 3. So we can have this load that information in and just fix it the way we want without messing with anything in here or dragging anything. We can just type the level, boom, there we go. And I'm thinking that would be very nice for us as a editor. Okay. Alright. So now we have to make a button for saving. Okay, remove all. And now we will do V and go up here and edit the string for it. Save changes. Okay, so in here we will probably go, what did we call this? Save player craft item, and it requires a integer. Well, our integer is going to be our level. And whatever this is, it will save it out as a level. This will make it really nice. Let's get that off my screen. And we will go here, back into the code. So now, instead of that stuff, which is kind of a bummer, we will have a system here that will generate files for us. So we can go add this, add this, add this, and we can go, oh, this looks good for level 1, right? Bam. Okay. So obviously no errors. Okay, which is all good. But now we have to refresh and see this Craftmaster 1. Okay, well, Craftmaster 1. Okay, that's great. Let's do 2. Okay, we have 2, and we need to save changes. Okay, well, now we have a Craftmaster 2. Alright, that's cool. So, what about if we wanted to load changes? So we'll clear all. And we'll have to reload for this. And get back over here. Well, we have this, most of this stuff. Okay,